Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the weekly project update. It is September 16th, and we've got a great set of updates coming to you from all across the Mozilla project. As we usually do, we're going to open this week's meeting with Friends of Mozilla. This is an opportunity to recognize people who have gone above and beyond the call of duty in the last week. If you've got nominations or people that you would like to celebrate as Friends of Mozilla, you can email those to me, ace@mozilla.com, or you can put them in the wiki agenda if you've got editing access. This week's Friends of Mozilla. The add-ons team would like to send cheers to Cesar Carretero for updating dependencies in our Sign add-on repository. Updates like this are difficult, time-consuming, and require a lot of research. Contributors who contribute patches like this are greatly appreciated. Let's give a round of applause for Cesar and his contributions. Next up, we move to the weekly events calendar. This week, we've got the Homebrew Website Club coming to you on September 18th, Wednesday, and September 19th, Thursday. The Homebrew Website Club is a growing worldwide network of meetups for everyone who wants to take back their web experience from social media silos and own their online identities, content, and interactions. We've got meetups in Nuremberg, Karlsruhe, London, Nottingham, and Seattle on Wednesday, and also in Brighton and Oakland, a new entrance on the list, on Thursday. Details and RSVP links are in the wiki agenda. We also have, on Thursday, September 19th, Add-on Show and Tell. Bring your add-ons related projects to the Show and Tell, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. Sign up and call-in info are linked in the agenda. We also list, but don't go through them because there's quite a few, later events coming up next week and following, and available tickets, complimentary tickets. So if you're interested in events that are sponsored by Mozilla's DevRel team and complimentary tickets to events and forums, check out the wiki and you can find a bunch of links and content there. With that, we are going to move on to our speakers for the week. We open this week with our Emerging Technologies Weekly Update, ET headlines coming to you from Mozilla Hubs. We hope.
Yep, just had to share my screen. Can you hear me okay? I hope so.
Yes, it's great.
So today's update is coming to you live from within Hub's virtual meeting space. Every week, the Hubs team hosts a screening of the project call in the Mozilla Commons. So come celebrate the team's achievements and latest updates together with us in VR. We invite any Mozilla employees interested in joining to find the link in the ET channel on Slack. No VR headset is required. In other Hubs news, last week, ENCA, a 24-hour news channel in South Africa, held the first ever televised interview in a virtual space hosted in Hubs. The team from Singularity U South Africa, who was hosting the interview and demo, did a great job and had some amazing avatar and scene customizations, showing off the many ways that Hubs can be used for different groups and purposes. The same group also held the first virtual press conference that we're aware of in Hubs. Last week, we unveiled our latest and greatest Firefox Reality with a number of exciting new browsing and content features. Users can now enjoy browsing in multiple windows side by side, with each window configurable to the size and position of your choice. Local browsing history is fully integrated in the experience, so you can easily get back to sites you visited, including through autocomplete in the search bar. We've also given the content feed a new look, an improved menu of best of VR content we curate, so users can more easily find exciting experiences and content creators can get a boost in visibility for their great work. All the exciting details are in our MozVR blog post, including hints about more new features coming soon. You'll find Firefox Reality 1.4 in the Viveport and Oculus stores. 2 years ago, the MDN team started rebuilding its browser compatibility tables so they could be dynamically generated from a shareable database that has grown through contributions from more than 500 community members and browser developers. If you're not getting your web compatibility information from MDN, you're probably getting it from caniuse.com and the Can I Use project. And last week, we announced these two efforts would be joining forces. Now, all search results on Can I Use will include MDA compat data, adding our over 10,000 data tables to the 500 available on caniuse.com. More information on this collaboration and how our datasets will work together and grow is on our post on Mozilla Hacks blog. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the great update. Next up, we have Janice and Chris coming to us with information about Grant for the Web.
Thank you. In case you haven't already seen it in your inbox or on the Slack channels for the announcements and news, I wanted to share an exciting announcement that we made this morning in collaboration with Creative Commons and COIL in launching Grant for the Web. It's a $100 million fund to boost open, fair, and inclusive standards and innovation in web monetization. It's a collaboration between Creative Commons, Mozilla, and COIL to promote alternative business models for content online. We see our role in this collaboration as a way to support both creators and consumers in creating a future for the web that is more privacy-centric and open. The funding for Grant for the Web is coming from COIL. As founding collaborators, Mozilla and Creative Commons will advise on all programmatic activities through roles on the program's advisory council. This includes decisions on the program's design, grant criteria, and general decision-making processes. I also wanted to note, while the advisory council is currently made up of COIL, Creative Commons, and Mozilla as the founding collaborators, other members may join the advisory council as the program evolves. I also wanted to point out that while Mozilla will be advising on the program, we will not be managing it. Loop Design and Innovation has been brought on to manage the day-to-day operations of the program. For that reason, I've asked Chris Lawrence to join me. Some of you may recognize him as a former Mozillian. He's now at Loop Design and Innovation as Director of Strategy, and will be working closely with all of the collaborators on the Grant for the Web. Chris, over to you.
Thanks, Janice. I got to say, first of all, it's exciting to be back into the closer to the orbit and the fold here. I know you're always a Mozillian, but it's fun to walk a couple of steps closer. As Janice said, Loop will be helping to design, manage, and grow the program, along with COIL, Creative Commons, and Mozilla. And so basically, we've been retained by COIL to be the program team for the grant and the fund. We're currently in the stage of designing early awards and grants with a goal of a first open call for proposals in Q1 of 2020. But currently, we're actually seeding a round of web monetization champions who will receive grants of $10,000 to use the technology, to design content for the technology, and to demonstrate the technology's benefits, as well as to kick the tires and help us out with the program design for the fund going further. Those first round of champions will be announced probably sometime over the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're also in a variety of conversations with different organizations and communities and networks about some rounds of grants to key partners in these early stages that are going to help us not only test the program, but build a wider network of organizations and content creator types. So this could be stuff like web developers, game developers, the gaming culture, podcasting, lifestyle bloggers, civic tech, nonprofits, and basically looking for organizational partners who can help us shape how that might be and what are the right ways and methods to communicate with them as we go out with open calls for proposals. And I want to actually say that we'll be doing all this designing and experimentation basically through the rest of 2019. There will be some awards that will get announced in that time, but the open calls will be mostly coming in 2020. We will be at MozFest this year, so I'm super excited about that. We'll be planning some things for the MozFest house. We'll be demonstrating some aspects of the program at the science fair, and we'll also have a session in the decentralization strand in the MozFest weekend at Ravensbourne. And we'll be highlighting a bunch of Mozillian projects that have already started to become activated in the meantime. And if anyone, we would love, everyone involved with the program would love to hear from Mozillians, whether it's just looking for out of curiosity or suggestions or thoughts. The best way to do that is actually through grantfortheweb.org. You can find our discourse forum in there. You can also tweet us at grantfortheweb. And then the FAQs and the message that I know Mark Sturman sent around is just chock full of information that if you want to find out more, including, by the way, a opportunity for anybody with a mozilla.org or .com email to get a free 6-month subscription so they can try being what the consumer is at part of this is like. And also in the FAQ is some great examples of people that are already web monetizing their content that you could go and support immediately and see how it works in action. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Really excited about this. Monetization on the web is in deep need of some reinvention. Next up, we have Andrew Krug coming to us with the Weekly Minute. Andrew, take it away.
It's time for the Weekly Minute Update, where we tell you all the things IT is doing to empower Mozillians in their mission to keep the web a global public resource open and accessible to all. 2 updates today, first from AV Ops. The countdown is on, just 7 more days until the Zoom Room upgrades begin in SFO. The 49-room upgrade will begin on September 23rd and end on October 18th. Week 1 will result in 8 newly upgraded rooms. Staff will start to see the upgrade schedule posted on digital signs and in the conference rooms. Please review those schedules and locate an alternative room while the upgrade is in progress. For additional upgrade information, visit the link below or reach out to AV Ops on Slack. Second, and finally, a friendly reminder from the InfoSec team that the first 2 Mozilla security policies officially go into effect on October the 1st, 2019. Please ensure you familiarized yourself with the content available on Mana here. The 2 policies cover Mozilla-owned devices and Mozilla account handling, which leads us to our policy-related security tip of the week. Never share any type of credentials, Mozilla or otherwise, in Slack, IRC, or email. Instead, give one of our recommended secret sharing platforms a try. All the information on the different sanctioned options are available here. With that, that's the minute. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Andrew. Next up, we have me, Asa Dotzler, coming to you with the weekly Firefox update. Quick update this week, Firefox 69 is our current stable release. 70's in the beta channel, with beta 7 going out tomorrow and beta 8 going out Friday. Firefox 70 ships to our stable release audience on October 22nd. 71 is in the nightly channel, and over the last week there have been about 375 bugs resolved as fixed, including these notable ones. The JavaScript debugger has a keyboard shortcut again. It lost it and it came back. Command-Option-L or Control-Shift-L will open up the JavaScript debugger. Monitor breach alerts are now accessible in the Logins Manager. In the Add-ons Manager, scroll position is now remembered when switching views, which is a nice convenience. And last but not least, a handful of picture-in-picture bugs got fixed that set the stage for picture-in-picture coming in Firefox 71. That's it for the weekly Firefox update. Last but not least, we have a Moss update coming to you from Jochai.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Yochai Ben-Avi. Don't let this sweet Mozilla policy jacket fool you. I also have the pleasure of heading up the Moss team. So some of you may be asking, what is Moss? Moss is the Mozilla Open Source Support Program. We broaden access, increase security, and empower users by providing about $2 million in catalytic support per year to open source technologists. A further reminder, for those of you who may not have read up on our website lately, we have 3 tracks to Moss. So the Mozilla is came from the open source movement, and as such, we have dependencies, as an open source project on other open source projects. So we want to make sure that those folks are protected and supported in the world. And so track 1, our foundational technologies program, supports projects that we have a dependency on or probably would like to have a dependency on. We can talk about that. Track 2 is our mission partners track, which supports pretty much any open source project out there in the world that broadens access, increases security, or empowers users in some way. And track 3 is our secure open source fund, which pays for security audits and remediation for widely used open source technologies. Why am I telling you all of this? So up until recently, we've had one committee that included experts from inside and outside of Mozilla to help us decide who to hand out these dollars to. And a lot of thanks to that committee that handled both of those tasks. But to try and increase the effectiveness, the impact, and the efficiency, and help us better evaluate Track 1 awards, we recently created a new Track 1 committee. You may remember seeing some emails about this. We had some conversations at All Hands, and I'm really pleased that we had more than 40 applications to join this committee. And so thank you to everyone who stepped up and put their hand up to help us with this program. I'm pleased to share with you the 11 folks who will be joining us on the new Track 1 committee. So please join me in giving them a round of applause. 11 names is a lot of names to read out, so I'll just leave this slide up for a minute and let you take that in. But I'm really pleased with the sort of geographic diversity, gender diversity, technical diversity, different teams across Mozilla that we're able to bring together. And again, I want to thank everyone for stepping up. And I also say that you don't need to be on the committee in order to be a part of the process. So every Track 1 award requires an internal champion. That means one of you needs to write us a little note, and it does not have to be long. It won't take you a lot of time. It's really easy. You have to write a little note that says, like, this is why we have a dependency on this technology, and this is why we should give them money. And so if there are dependencies that you have in your work, please let us know so we can see if it's appropriate for us to give them some money. And so you can email moss@mozilla.com or find me or any other member of the team. And you can always get more information at mozilla.org/moss. Thank you very much.
Exciting. Love giving the money away. I'm going to reload the agenda to see if any other speakers have come on. It doesn't look like it. So with that, we move to our closing section, Welcome to New Mozillians. And we have a welcome coming from William in the Toronto office.
Hey, here to introduce Benjamin Wu, who's going to be working on the Firefox data platform. He was an intern in summer 2018, and he was working on real-time crash ingestion. But we'll expect lots of great telemetry updates from him this year.
Welcome, Benjamin.
Happy yeah. That's it.
Another quick refresh to see if any other items have come onto the agenda. It doesn't look like it, so we are all wrapped up for this week. See you next week, same time, same place. Until then, keep on rocking the free web.